Hi, everybody. We're going to get started now. As you can see, there's still a few people joining, but I want to go over a few quick logistics before we get started. Using the GoToWebinar software, you have the ability to see and use the question field in the bottom right-hand side. So if you guys have questions as we're going through this, please just raise your hand, or just ask the question inside of. If you just have the question, just type it into the question box, and then we'll make sure to answer them at the end of the presentation. And also, as you can see, we're doing a video on this version, something unique. So unfortunately, you have to stare at us the whole time. But I think it would be a better way to be a little more engaging. So with that, let's get started. So thank you so much for joining us today. We are here to talk today about the Technia Value Components, and more importantly, the 2014.1 TVC release. So 2014.1, that's a really big deal for us. It's been now 16 years that we've been building and working with the concept of the Technia Value Components. So it's exciting to have another year and another really strong offer that we're going to share with you today. And what a long, strange trip it's been, if you will. So, over the last 16 years, we've created some really incredible stories with our customers, and we've been able to develop some really cutting-edge technologies in the PLM space that we're really proud of. And if you take a look back, over the last sorry. Yes, slide is broken. Anyway, we have been very busy here at Technia. We have been developing products. In fact, we've now developed 6 products that we maintain, own, develop, and sell and resell worldwide using our vast global partner network as well. We have 4 enterprise tools, tools that help our customers and our partners develop, enhance, fix, and moderate their Innovia solutions. We have 1 new integration framework. This is a framework that we released last year on a pretty revolutionary platform that allows our customers to connect with each other and connect the enterprise systems that they have inside of the company. We've also spread into 5 countries, Sweden, Norway, Finland, the US, and most recently we opened an office in India to help better serve our global partners and customers. We've also expanded the company into 170 new employees, and that's a really exciting number for us because it's fun to watch us grow alongside with our customers and see the positive demand that there is for our products. And amongst that, we have 100+ new customers that are actually using our TVCs today. And that's another thing we're really proud of, because at Technia we like to make these long-lasting partnerships. And some of these customers have been with us over the last 16 years since the inception of the value component products. And across those 100 customers, we have over 300,000 users. 300,000 users that are always giving us a lot of feedback, a lot of requirements, and they're really engaged in the success of the products, which is really important to us because it's our goal to have 300,000 happy users. And it's pretty lofty because getting a user happy means for us making a user much more productive and enhance the way that they work with the products on a daily basis. So for us, if the users are happy, then we're successful as a company. So how do we get happy users? Well, the main thing that we want to focus on is listening. and making sure that we hear what our customers are asking and we hear the struggles that they have so that we can continually feed those requirements into these product releases like we're doing today. And one of the ways that we do that is by having a really sharp TVC, or Technia Value Component product development team. And here you see a picture of these guys sitting here in the Stockholm office. Not only are they smart guys that really like to wear denim, but they're a really dedicated team as well, and they're really engaged in the success of the products, which is important. You know, one of the ways that we do this is by having 2 customer advisory boards every year. We have an open forum. We have active LinkedIn channels and a support line that we can be reached at 24/7. So like I said, we're here for you, and it's important for us to gather the feedback so that we can continue to make these product releases throughout the year. And that's really what makes Technia as a company unique, because we really are customer driven. And so now I'd like to introduce the guy sitting to the left of me.
Hello.
This is Anders Axelsson. He's been with Technia now for 10 years, and he is the Senior Technia Value Components Developer. I myself, hello everyone, I'm Neil Phippen. I've been with Technia for over a year. I am the Director of International Sales for Technia, and together we work together in gathering customer feedbacks and making sure our products are designed to meet the needs that we see on the market today. So we're here to talk about the Technia Value Components, and I know that some of you on the line today are relatively new with us. Some have been with us for a long time, but I thought it would be a good introduction to give a little bit of background on what the value components are for those who aren't aware of our entire product offering. The TVCs were designed to enhance the experience for the user's day-to-day life, not only from the user interface, but also on the back end from a plug-in framework to help lower the time and cost that it takes to get up and running on an Innovia implementation. And one of the components that we have is called the Structure Browser. The Structure Browser is a powerful and intuitive tool that we use to help build, manipulate, view, and explore these complex structures that exist inside of Innovia, doing things like quick compare, fast loading, dragging and dropping, and in-cell edits. We also have things like graphic reporting. And graphic reporting is a module that we use to help visually navigate and get users to critical information for making decisions in the moment. Be able to view and see trends and analyze data on the go, and offer a set of configurable tools for setting up and arranging data in a way that makes sense for you, the customer. We also have this component called the Grid Browser, which is a powerful way to use matrices in Innovia to provide a better overview for making decisions or comparing data, offering fully editable grid views that can be edited and changed to apply color mappings to provide more enhanced visibility into what the data actually means, and change the look and feel to something that makes sense to you. We also have a tool called the File Manager, which really, at a high level, simplifies the entire process for working with documentation inside of Innovia, the check-in and check-out process. And part of that includes the ability to drag and drop files from your desktop or drag them from Outlook as a mail client. And what this really does is make the system much faster for working with documentation for experienced users, but even easier to use for users that are novices in the system and have no idea what they're doing. It's quite intuitive. We also have a component called Mobile Access, which gives our users all the power of Innovia kind of in the palm of your hands in a simple and easy to use interface. For example, you can view your drawings on the shop floor or create issues on site when they're detected, do your approvals on the go wherever you are, or even bring statistics with you to a meeting and find the data that you're looking for to help illustrate your point, all from your mobile device. And we also have this thing called the integration framework. The integration framework is a tool that we've developed to help bring that same ease of configurability that you expect from our TVC products, but allows you to connect these large and complex enterprise integrations and be able to do so pretty simply using these powerful templates that are based on XML schema. And we also provide a monitoring tool to help you identify where the bottlenecks in your integration points are. So those were our tools, for those of you who weren't aware. And I know that you're all saying, okay, well, this is really exciting. And you're probably all jumping up and down like this right now. But you're also probably saying, I came here to hear about what's new, so let's get on with it. So without further ado, let's talk about the latest release for the Tecnia Value Components, 2014.1. So to start off, all you developers out there who work on a daily basis with the TVCs, this one's for you. It's time to rejoice, because we've really added some beef, some muscle for our developers. And here you see some Arnold. So what we're trying to do is make TVC terminators out there by giving a tool to make working with the TVCs on a daily basis at a higher quality and at a much higher level of efficiency. And the way that we're doing that is providing this XML schema support. What that means is that we can use tools like IDEs, or in this case, Eclipse, and we can use the schema support library so that we can indicate validation problems ahead of time. So if I have a problem in my code, I can highlight it directly in the code without having to try to run it and figure out that I did something wrong and have to go back and change it after the fact. So this is an extreme boost in product development efficiency. We also have the ability to give type ahead. For example, in the screen that you're seeing right now, I've spelled the sending wrong. I've spelled it as a kending. And here you can see all the valid options you have for this sort direction command. And you know what the type ahead is going to provide is a very detailed document library that's going to give you some tips as you do your development. And here you see this little library window is going to pop up and give you some pointers on what you can actually enter here. And to illustrate this a little further, I'm going to hand it over to Anders now, and he's going to dive into the system and show you what this actually looks like.
Yes, let me show you. Just as Neil pointed out, this is about quality and efficiency for the developer. All developers out there, you're since long used to utilize the power of IDEs such as Eclipse developing Java. When you are compiling your code and making your builds, you're never going to have a compilation error because the IDE Eclipse takes care of that for you. You get the warning if you mistype something. It does all the validation for you, and it also helps you doing the right things. Also regarding Java docs, it's not common anymore that you pick up this separate Javadoc and looks up the name of functions. Eclipse helps you with that by auto-completing the possible options for you, including displaying the documentation, what the different functions are for. And using XML schemas will give you the exact same benefits working with XML. So for example, looking at this project here, we can easily see this that something is wrong in the web app by this red icon, and we can follow this red marker down into the XML structure and find out that it is the table column XML that there's something wrong in. Looking closer into this file, you will see appending is highlighted red, that something is wrong. If I hover it, Eclipse will tell me that the value appending is not a valid value for sort direction element. Hovering sort direction element will bring up some good documentation telling me what the sort direction element is for and the possible values. So it's really easy for me to correct that mistake I've done, and it's really easy for me to detect mistakes I've done. It also comes with good auto-completion possibilities as the full specification of the possibilities are documented in the XML schema. So by starting typing V, for instance, Eclipse helps the user or the developer by auto-completing the possible element values, and also bring in the documentation compared with the Javadoc and Java here, the description of the elements and the possible values. So it makes development much more quicker and raises the quality of the output a lot. Also on this is a table example, adding columns to it. Just how to complete your way. You can find possible attribute values for this element in this list. So it makes it really easy. And we've tried this in a couple of projects now already, and it's really surprising the level of small mistakes, and it's everywhere. Small things, small settings here and there that's not used by TVCs, that's missed in some tables that's supposed to be there. So just by enabling the XML schema support gives an instant quality boost to these projects.
I can imagine as soon as you turn it on, you'll see all the red markers where TVC errors are identified right away, right? So it's got to be really convenient. Great.
Yep.
So the next thing that we've done outside of that is we've made some minor changes here. First one is an update to the jQuery library. You know, like I said, pretty minor, but basically we moved from version 1.1 to version 1.9. So those doing development can draw on those same libraries that jQuery provides in version 1.9. So just bringing all the latest and greatest into that library into the TVCs. Next thing we've done is a pretty nice update to the image manager. For those of you who aren't familiar, the image manager is a core component in the TVCs, meaning it comes in any TVC package that you order. What the image manager allows users to do is upload images to any object that they interact with in Innovia. So if you have a team, just by enabling the image manager, you can all upload images to help better illustrate what you're talking about, or help better identify the product or object that you're working on. Now, the update that we've done in 2014.1 is by enabling annotations to be displayed by default. Previously, you would have to open up an image and go into it and then turn on the annotation to see what had been done in the annotation. But now we can enable them by default, so that you can see here on the thumbnail view, you can see there's been a lot of annotations going on around these three t-shirt pictures. And so without having to go into any detail, the user can now see that feedback that, okay, well, there's some additional annotations here, and get some visual recognition of those. So that's a really nice one for the users that are working with our image manager. Next thing we've done is made a pretty significant update to the structure browser. This update we've called the context drag and drop. This is a really powerful thing because there's times when you are working in the context of maybe a flat structure, and you'd like to add an object at the top level of that structure. So in this case, we have the ability to now see a dynamic drop zone will lower when it's applicable, that allows you to drag an object into the top level of that structure. For example, in this case on screen, we could select this object here on the right-hand side and drag it into the drop zone, and this would add that object to the general context. And to illustrate that a little further, Anders is going to go into the actual system and show us what that looks like.
Yeah, I know many of you already work with the drag and drop functionality in Structure Browser to build structures. And we have had many requests to add it to the context objects and for flat tables, as the only possibility so far have been to add it to actual lines in the Structure Browser. So you had to drag drop something, drop it on a line in the table. So by adding this drop zone about table, we also add the possibility to add new root nodes to a table, as here, root nodes to a structure table, or to add new lines in a flat table. So it appears as a draggable item appears in the side panel. So clipboards or searches, and it disappears as you hide the side panel.
It's really slick. So it comes down automatically as you're working in the system.
When it's needed.
Very nice. So the next thing that we've updated when working with Structure Browser is another feedback enhancement that we've done, and this one is called the refresh table source. Basically, because we wanted to give more visual feedback to the users when they do drag and drop, and one of the ways that we've done that is by enabling, in this case, the table on the right-hand side to be updated when dragging an object to the left-hand side, and making sure that the system is giving feedback to the user, so it's a much more satisfying feeling. In this case, what we can illustrate here is that if I dragged this highlighted object to the table on the left, that object would be removed from the table after it was added to the structure on the left. So again, it's a minor change, but it makes a lot of difference to the user because they see that the data is actually being transferred and it's no longer available for selection if that rule applies. Next thing we've done on the Structure Browser is allow the capability to edit saved searches. Saved searches are a feature that have been available on the Structure Browser for quite some time. When there's a certain set of criteria that you have that you're working with in the system quite often, for example, I want a list of all my contracts that are open to process. We should be able to click on that Save Search and see those contracts always come up in all those objects that meet that criteria. So that capability has been around for a long time, but with the 2014.1 release, we've added the ability to select, edit, and save that search criteria. So now you'll see this extra little edit button next to the delete button, and so if your search criteria changes over time, if you have a really complex search or if you have a simple search, but that search criteria might change over time, we now give you the ability to go in and edit that so that you can still use those searches that you have saved. Next change that we've made is the ability to use the mass edit feature and retain selections. What that means is, again, mass edit is a capability that's been on the structure browser for quite some time, but now we've seen that some of our users are mass editing the same set of rows every time, and instead of having to go in and reselect the rows that they want to edit, they'd like to just save that subset of rows that they've already selected, so that next time they come into the system to do a mass edit, it'll be saved. So we've enabled that for this release. So by selecting this box, the little tick box called row selection or keep selection, next time you open a mass edit, you'll have your same rows available for selection. So again, just another way to lower the amount of rework that a user has to do. The next change we made in the structure browser was the enablement for full structure search. Again, this is a feature that existed in structure browser before, but only from a side panel. So now we've enabled full structure search from the toolbar. So what I mean by that is, if you select on the global toolbar the little binocular search, you now have the ability to click the checkbox for search in full structure or expand all. And what that means is that all nodes and all subnodes of a structure are going to be flagged for this search or for whatever criteria you enter. So the main driver here is just getting more power in less clicks. And then the next component that we've made some changes to is in the grid browser. In fact, as of this year, this is the first of many changes that are going to be flagged for change in the grid browser. There's an effort right now to provide a lot more of the powerful capabilities that we have in the structure browser and all the tools that the structure browser has, and make them available within the context of a grid browser. And this is one of the ways that we're starting off that effort. And what we've done in this release is enable the table configurator to be used for a grid browser. And this is really important because previously the grids that our users would come up with would have the table and then the grid. And sometimes the grids would run off the screen, or sometimes they wanted to view the grid in a different way or rearrange the columns. And you would have to go and do some changes to the XML. So now we're happy to report that we can do those kind of changes using the table configurator and change where the table gets frozen or what columns are shown or hidden, and save those configurations as well. So to give you a peek at what that looks like, I'm going to turn it over to Anders again.
So what we had earlier was similar to this layout. The only scrollable part of the grid browser view was the right-hand side with the intersections. That could be a bit cumbersome sometimes when you like to have a lot of columns in your table. You want to pack this this really technical view with a lot of data needed to make the connections between the related objects. And sometimes you had too many columns, so simply the scrollable area with intersections was too small, and the whole idea with the grid browser kind of went away. And sometimes it went away completely because of low resolution laptops, or looking at this on a projector in a meeting. So what we did was simply adding the table configuration features from Structure Browser into Grid Browser, enabling the user to define where to put this freeze pane. You're not limited anymore to only have the intersections as a scrollable area. This also allows the user to rearrange the column configurations or hide columns not of interest. Making the grid much more useful in certain cases. It's also the possibility, of course, to save down personal profiles for different use cases.
Okay, fantastic. So the next thing we've done, and this is one of my favorite changes that we've actually done in this release, because it's a part of the graphic reporting component, and something I think is really powerful. We've allowed for gadget interactions to take place now. So what, excuse me, what I mean by gadget interactions is the ability to have, for example, a complex table on the left-hand side and then the supporting graphs on the right-hand side, or however you'd like to arrange them, and make sure that when a change happens to the data that's driving the graphs can be updated automatically to signify the changes that have been made. So, for example, in this case, if I were to promote any of the objects in this this data set, in this case, the chart widget could be updated automatically to show that that issue is no longer in the same state. So it's a dynamic feedback, making sure that the user sees what's happening to their data in real time, so that they don't have to go in and reload a graphic report to see that data. The next thing that we've done while we're on the topic of graphic reporting is enable default values, so that, again, we can create some specific reports. For example, if we wanted to set up a specific report for only high and urgent priority issues in the system that are in the create or review state, we can now set defaults that are preloaded when a report page is loaded. And this, again, just helps drive what the users are seeing based on requests that are out there. And I think, Anders, if you'd like, I think we can show a little more on graphic reporting.
Sure. So first of all, this gadget interaction feature, it's an API level feature that allows gadgets to communicate with each other or affect each other. So what I've done here in this example is connecting the issue list with the issue by state in red down to the right. So as I promote one object here, I know that affects states or state charts, as this will change state. So I have connected the promote action and made it update the issue by state gadget down to the right. So if you look at the issue by state gadget down to the right, as I click this now, you see it will be refreshed by making that action. Also, while in here, you can note the filter icon is red. That means some filter is activated. So here the priority has been defaulted to not include pre-assigned issues within this dashboard view. The user can, of course, override that decision by checking the pre-assigned checkbox here to make it appear. Okay, thank you.
Great. So the next component that we've made some updates to is the file manager. The file manager, as I was saying before, is our component that we use to help make it easier to work with documents inside of the system. And we've taken it a step further by enabling it with the top panel, which is a core component that again comes with any of the TVCs. The top panel allows us to see an object's details without having to drive down into the sub-menus of an object. And so what we've done in this release is enable the file document actions menu to be visible inside of the top panel, so that you don't have to go into the table structure, which is where you usually see this action menu. It's going to be available at the top level on the document. So users can download, view, check out, check in, lock, or delete a file without having to go to that next level down. So that's convenient. And also on File Manager, which surprisingly was the largest request that we had for this release, overwhelmingly. So we listened, and as of now, as of today, you're able to create default rules or enforced rules for client settings with the File Manager. What that means is that here you see the client setting window that comes up with the File Manager, and usually the users have access to set these based on their own preferences. What happens to a file when I download it? Should I always show the File Manager window? Which folder should I download to? Should I keep files downloaded into a different directory? These are all usually configurable at the user level, but we had a large request to make it a set of rules so that we could enforce user settings for all users. And so that's now available in this new release. So the administrator can go in and set this on a configuration and enforce the user interface settings that all users should share. So just to further illustrate that, if you look at the box at the very bottom, the administrator has decided that this should be locked and that I as a user should not have access to change this cell. And so we can do that with all of the settings of File Manager now. So you asked and we delivered. So now it's time to move into something a little bit different. And so here's one of my favorite albums of all time, Play That Funky Music by Vanilla Ice. And the reason I bring this up is because he had a really popular phrase when I was growing up, and it's stop, collaborate, and listen. And I only bring that up today because we are very proud and excited to actually introduce a whole new set of features that we've been working for quite some time on with a few of our customers. So it's my great pleasure to introduce to you today the collaboration functionality set. And this is something that we think is actually going to become a very prominent component in all of our TVCs in the future, because we see a lot of very powerful usages for this kind of collaboration feature set. So what exactly is collaboration? Basically, as of today, it is a new new free set of features that we've decided to add to the Technia Value Components core. Free, but today we're releasing it as a limited availability release. What that means is that you can contact us and we'll make sure that you get all the features and functionality, but we want to work closely with you to make sure that we're getting a lot of feedback, and we're looking for customers who are willing to give us more feedback with the way that they're wanting to use this set of functionality so that we can make the products better for everyone. So as we go through this today, if this is something that looks interesting to you, please let us know right away and we'd be happy to work with you. But it basically consists of discussions, a way to monitor and get notified on the discussions that are happening inside of the system, and a home page to kind of go to see exactly the status of all your discussions and what other people are saying. So with that, let's go through a high-level overview of what collaborations looks and feels like, and then Anders is going to give us a demo. So collaborations, as I said before, gives us the ability to easily add these discussion panels to any object in the system so that we can support a discussion around what's taking place on that object. We also have the ability to provide a really simple and clear thread that's going to take place along the discussions. Nice and easy to read and easy to see what the thread is. And to take that a step further, if we expand on that, here we can see, just like most modern web pages that you go to, we want a structure that illustrates it easily to the user, which discussions are replies, and we want to show them in a clean, nested format, letting the user specify subject, message, who it's going to, who are the recipients, if it should be private or public. We can tag it and add priority and attach files to further illustrate our point. We also came up with a really interesting way to notify users of discussions that are taking place. For example, we have inline notifications, which are available for all web browsers, and this is going to be displayed in the upper right-hand corner whenever a new notification comes in. If you have the window up, the user will see it. Also, we have web notifications, which aren't available for all browsers, but these are really similar to what happens when you get an Outlook notification for a new email. It'll pop up even if you're not directly in front of your Innovia environment. And just like when you click on these notifications, you'll be brought to a recent notifications tab that you can see the status of what's being said around the objects that you're involved with, as well as being taken to a specific notification if you drill down into it. And you never have to leave the context of what you were working on before if a notification comes in. And we've also provided a home page that shows all of the discussions that a user is having in one view. That user also has the ability to change their user settings, preferences, and even create an avatar to add a little more personality to that discussion that's taking place. So with that, I'll hand it over to Anders again, and he'll take it for a drive.
Okay, thank you, Neil. Let's see where I got it here. Let's log in as Ron. Find one of my parts in the systems that I as Ron is working on at the moment. To the right, I find this new discussions side panel, or it's a small area here. If I click it, I open up the new discussions panel. It's a resizable area that contains all discussions related to the object right in front of me, and it's sticky. I don't know the right word for it, but I call it sticky as you change categories in the category tree. Meaning you could take a look at the life cycle of this particular part, or you could take a closer look at specifications and so on, and the discussion threads are still open. Taking a closer look at the discussions panel, you see this short summary with the discussion summaries, who started the discussion thread, when. The icons to the right tells you if the discussion is a private one or a public discussion. The exclamation mark marks this discussion is flagged important by run. Clicking the discussion will open up the thread for you. You can reply to discussion entries either by replying to the entry itself, making it indented, or replying to the discussion as a whole. So what you see here is a little avatar of each user being involved in the discussion. You find some subject and the contents of the message itself. For private discussions, you can see to who the discussion is available, and in discussion entries that have an attachment, you will also find this attachment below that you can click and to download the attachment itself. Taking a closer look at the icons on top, we find this filter icon that we're familiar with from dashboard. If we click it, we can simply type something in and have the list of discussion entries filtered down to only the entries that contain the words I'm typing. It also highlights the word for me. There's a refresh button. It simply reloads the contents, and there's an add button allowing you to add new discussion entries. You can fill out the subject, flag important. You can add recipients like Brick Tamland, for instance. There's a tag field. We use it for search and finding discussion entries. In the future, the plan is to use this even more and supercharge it with a good index engine. And finally, the message and a simple drop zone to drop attachment files. Okay, that's the discussion part. Let's move into the notification. As we were doing this collaboration framework, we started with discussions, and another part of this created is the notifications. At the moment, all that goes in the notifications are notifications of discussions, new discussions, and discussion entries. We feel excited about this notification technology, and we look forward to use this notification technology to feed the users with information of things that's going on in the system. Maybe this is where if you help me out, you flag an object, you want to listen, you watch it. Is that called it now?
Yeah. You flag it.
Yeah, flag it for watching, and you will find system updates that you are interested in this area, for instance. If you look closely, we can find a message from Firefox up to the left, and it's about this web notification technology that Neil told you about. What it does, it feeds the operating system with a message, and the operating system itself takes care of presenting it to the user. In Windows, it displays it in a similar way as you're used to working with Outlook. You find this little pop-up down to the right, even though you don't have the Outlook client in front of you. Maybe you have a PowerPoint in full screen mode or something. You still want to be notified about new things that are going on in Enovia. And it will also notify you in the web interface, making you aware of new notifications in the system. So opening the notifications, it will show you the last couple of notifications, maybe the last 5, as in this case. But you can find out more of each notification by clicking it, having a quick preview where you find out more detailed information about who's involved, what's the context object. One click away from going into the context object, you will see the content, text, and so on. But there is also a more powerful full inbox view where you have a bigger real estate to work with here, so you can browse through your inbox items, see the avatars, attachments in a better way. And this is also where the user can control profile settings. At this moment there's only the avatar and what type of notifications you are interested in.
Yeah, the questions come up before, and there's what browsers currently support the web notifications.
Yeah, this technology has been around for a while. Most modern browsers support it, or almost all except IE. Firefox, Chrome, it's been supported since many releases back, Safari for Macintosh. So we believe that this is a technology for the future and that IE will follow. So let me show you how it works. So I'll log in using this Veronica Corningstone that's involved in this discussion. So I log into the system. First thing I do, I open my notifications inbox, find this new discussion. Rick Tamland had said something on this newest, hottest topic on the new part 130. So I directly move into this part, open the discussion panel, and find out what's new. And I really disagree with Ron on this one, so I instantly replies to Ron. I don't like this. And Ron is still logged in the Firefox browser to the left. So note as I press submit here how Ron instantly gets a message in the Enovia client, but also down to the right in in his operative system. So you can see the message down to the right, and in Firefox, as well as this new icon in the inbox icon, this exclamation mark telling you that there's been a new event in the inbox. So you can find the new discussion entry in bold. And this notification framework is using modern technologies. It's ensuring you that the message gets there at an instant, even though you're in a multi-server setup. Maybe you're logged into different web servers. It will still find its way through. So we're looking forward to do more around this notification technology. Yeah, that's basically what I was planning to show you live.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and like you said, I think there's a lot of new ways that we can take the collaboration feature forward. You know, there's so many different ways that we can use notification and these kind of really slick discussion panels to make interaction inside of Enovia much more simple and streamlined. So just to reiterate, if anybody is interested, please get a hold of us, and we'd love to work with you further. So as we kind of wrap up here with our presentation today, I already see one question coming in around the 3D Experience 2014 X, and do we support it? The answer is the patch release it's on its way. As we've done for the last 16 years, we've had TVC maintenance releases that come directly after the GA release for Enovia. And this 2014X is no different. In fact, we have an extremely strong offering on the 2014X platform for those of you who have had a chance to play with it. The TVCs are still provide an extremely valuable user experience. And of course, we are committed to align with look and feel and functionality, and those all come in our supported roadmap that we have, which is 2014.2 will be coming out in August, and that is aligning our patch release for the Enovia platform release. We also have another one coming up in November. Again, the TVC team is very active on making sure we do many releases throughout the year and making sure that user feedback is weaved into the product. Things like Structure Browser 2.0 and Internet Explorer 11 support are on its way as well, so things to look forward for our next release. And of course, collaboration. Like we were saying, this we think is a chance to do some really interesting stuff. So be on the look for new and exciting ways to use this feature set as it matures along the way. So last thing we want to point out is that we'll be doing a European tour in May and monthly webinars every month for the rest of the year. So if you find these useful, please stay subscribed to those, and we'd love to hear your feedback along the way. So with that, let's open up the questions panel and see if there's anything that we didn't address quite yet. Can you click right there?
This one?
Just where it says question mark.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, the first one we see is, so can the settings be made by a user group for File Manager?
No, not at the moment. It's global settings now to enforce it for everyone. Good idea, though. Please, if you feel it's important, please file it as an improvement in the TVC support project in Jira, and it will be prioritized for the backlog.
There's a question here wanting to know what version are we currently running this demo on?
2013X.
Which TVC version supports notifications? Do we have to be on 14.1?
Yeah. This is a new feature in TVC Core for this latest release.
The XML schema editor tool that was shown, how is it going to work with Eclipse? Is it a plugin? Can you explain a little more on that?
Eclipse, as many good IDEs, XML editors, have native support for XML schemas. So basically all you have to do is pointing out the new XML schema files in the XML header in the root element. Mm-hmm. And the editor itself will enable these features.
So there's two other questions around the schema tool as well, and specific IDEs. So I assume that would make sense then, mm-hmm. Like IDEA and NetBeans.
I believe so. It's my guess. Otherwise, it's not good tools according to me. But yeah, any good tool should have XML schema file support.
Hmm. Does the discussions feature use icon mail from Menovia, or is this entirely separate in the TVCs?
This is a separate thing.
And
no, it's free. It's not really a tool. It's just we publish these schema files on a Technia server, and you can simply point it out in your XML files.
Mm.
Did we repeat the question?
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. Yeah. And the last one we have here was around packaging for the collaboration and how it'll be accessible. Again, just to be clear that this is free, it's released, it's on the market, but we're just asking that you work with us to request it if you'd like to start using it today. So it's no problem. We just want to be a little more active in the initial rollout here. So I think we've answered everything. If anything else comes in along the way.
I'd like to add one more thing. If you want or interested in this XML schema files or anything else that's new in this presentation, please visit products.technia.com and download the latest documentation, the release bulletin, and XML-based definitions, and read up on how to use this.
Definitely. So I think with that, we can go ahead and just say thank you for joining our webinar today. Again, it means a lot to us to have your attention, and we know that we're excited about the things that are coming in the TVC releases, and we're looking forward to hearing your feedback on what you think of the latest release and how we can make it better. So until next time, everybody have a great evening, great morning, wherever you are.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.